Welcome to Soft Skills with me. In this episode, you will be learning about the circadian rhythm from the expert.
Some time ago, I traveled to my hometown from my city Bengaluru, which is one of the fastest growing cities. I left early in the morning at 4:30 or 5 o'clock and reached the outskirts quickly and then reached my hometown in about 6 or 8 hours, which is almost 500 kilometers. Now, if I had to leave during the peak hours of traffic, I would have had to spend an additional 2 hours just to maneuver the traffic and reach the outskirts. So what really helped me save those 2 hours is my knowledge about the peak hours of traffic in my city. Similarly, in our life, we need to understand the Circadian Principle, which helps us to identify the hours of a day of peak performance and dull moments. Take a look at this clip. The term circadian comes from a Latin word which means around a day. Circadian rhythm are 24-hour cycles that are part of the body's internal clock, running in the background to carry out essential functions and processes. Take a look at this picture. You also see the details of melatonin secretion in this picture. That is, when the eyes do not receive sufficient light, natural or artificial, then a chemical called as melatonin is produced in the pineal gland part of the brain, and the human brain becomes tired. Or in other words, it is a signal for us to take rest. We go to sleep. And when it is not secreted or stops secretion, we become awake. That is why we dim the light before going to bed. We also do not work in areas or rooms which are poorly lit. Now, why am I sharing all this with you? Before we make a time schedule, we need to understand the hours in a day of peak performance. For example, according to research which says that most of the world records in sports are broken during the second peak, the time of the day when the body temperature is at its highest. So the two natural windows of energy peaks across the day for most of us are: number one, the late morning, that is between 10:30 to 11:30, and number two, the late afternoon, around 6 p.m., where the blood pressure is at the highest. During this time, every cell in the body is naturally programmed to be alert and ready to perform. And during the early afternoon, there is a dip which occurs where our body is programmed to be relaxed and in a recovery mode. It is very important for us to understand this principle so that we can schedule tasks that require more focus during the peak hours and the ones that require lesser focus during the dip. That is, within 90 minutes of waking early afternoon and later at night. There are two main levers to increase our productivity. Number one is understanding the circadian rhythm, which we just learnt about. And number two is managing the sleep depth. Now, what is sleep depth? Let us now learn a little about the sleep depth. So, what is sleep depth? According to research, every human being needs to sleep for at least 7 hours a day so that he can function at his optimal level or at his best. Now, say for example, you have slept for only 5 hours today, which means it is a minus 2 hours today. So if you do this for 7 days, it becomes 7 into 2, which is 14 hours in the week. That becomes your sleep depth. Now, if we accumulate our sleep depth, then research says that it can directly affect our sales, our communication, and our decision making, which are all very important for the success of our work or to achieve our goal. Hence, by understanding and applying the circadian rhythm and the sleep depth, we will be able to focus on our work and increase our productivity.
So, that's how you identify your peak hours of performance and increase your productivity. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments section. And if you want to enroll for the full course on time management, you can click on the link in the description and enroll for the course on Udemy. Never miss an update. Subscribe to this channel, like, and share with friends. In the next episode, you will be learning about the 80-20 rule. Until then, take care.